We are live. We can start. Now, rĩrĩa tũraria cia mũndũrũme kana rĩrĩa tũraria cia mu or m or male or masculine or externalization or expressing yourself, tũraria ũhoro wa waramano. Na haha nĩho tũkaga tũkanjia nginya kwaria ũhoro wa kĩndũ gĩtagwo itoka na maũndũ mangĩ ta mau. Na nĩndĩrenda ũmũthĩ tũkorwo tũkĩrangĩra maũndũ na tũkĩrora maũndũ na njĩra ĩngĩ. Tũtige gũthiĩ na ũrĩa andũ mekaga maũndũ, tugerie at least kũrora the truth about things. For example, I want to talk about the divine masculine, or I want to talk about the masculine. Nigetha tumenye rĩtwa rĩrĩ ngamini kana ũkĩigua mũndũ atĩ nĩathiĩ nĩeta kĩgomano. Kĩgomano is when there's a collection of people around some place and then they decide that they are going to anoint someone a name, appoint them and call them a name like Gamini. Shout out to Njogu. Gamini retagwo Njogu. Shout out to him. This is for learning purposes only. I'm not going to belittle the title. However, I'm here to teach. Now, mũndũrũme nĩakoragwo na ironda, aka a wounded masculine. Now, most of the men that we have are already wounded. Any man who is aggressive is a wounded man. What do I mean? When you look at an animal that has been wounded, whether it's a cat or a dog, there's a way that they behave in an aggressive manner. And most of the time, you are going to find that the reason that animal is behaving like that is because it's already wounded or what you can call threatened. So an aggressive man in any situation, whether at home, whether interacting with other people out there, is already a wounded man. A controlling man, a man who's controlling, aka nyumba kwangu unaingianga saa 12. Nyumba kwangu unafaa, like, you know what, when I talk about controlling, you know what I mean by controlling men. There's controlling men and there's also taking charge, okay? Anyone or any man who has extreme pride is a man who's wounded. For example, you will see men throwing lavish birthdays, but they're not doing it out of kukulania na watu. Wanafanya out of pride. So hawa ni wale wanaume akina Ndegwa Kavura. Hawa ni wale wanaume, they are splashing money for show, aka anataka ati akitoka kwa nyumba aende muone akona Mercedes kwa parking, muone, because those are not things to show off. Those are your comforts. They are not supposed to be for you to show off. People can see them. People can see and appreciate your beautiful car or your beautiful home, but it's not for you as a man to go show it. It's not for you as a man to go splashing or showing money. You can keep it under wraps. Now, when you meet a man who is detached, so these are men who are not attached to anything. They are not attached to reality. That is a wounded man. Tureda kwaria uhoro wa the symptoms of a wounded man, then the symptoms of a feminized man, because these are three different things. We have a wounded man, we have a feminized man, akina kababa, ayamuonaga makina haha, kanitha-ini jira mudharava. Those are feminized men. Those are spoiled boys who have been spoiled by their mothers, most of them raised by single women. And then we can talk about the divine masculine, or who should be given the title of Gamini. gamini nigetha riria ndiramwira your culture has been destroyed, so that now when you look into your culture you can actually say tutiri na mundurume kana gutiri na mugikuyu gamini. Tungirora ikero cia mundurume gutuika gamini tutiri, nigetha tukamenya ati nginya uyu tureta gamini ndakinyite ikero cia gukorwo agitwo gamini, whether nietitwo ni athuri makamutuga you get what I'm saying? Akina Jenga Mabati, akina Njogu, but this is for learning purposes only. You get what I'm going with this? Now, I'm a teacher, so I'm going to teach, and I'm not here to teach and please anyone. I'm here to teach so that now, when you look at these titles, you may actually find that when we mudrome gamini gana we gamini waku toginya okoro o tugetwo ikiro isio in nature. You get where I'm going? Most of you have been raised by men who have hot tempers. Ate vava wanyu ni ahiukagirwo, vava wanyu no akurakara. Now, you have normalized that thing, thinking that that is a very good thing to say. But your angry father, oyo wako hiukirwo ate ni ahiukire bokora, that's a boy. That is a wounded masculine. Osio, he's not a man. He may be a man because maybe he's your father or amewalea, but that's a weak man. That's a wounded man. Men who seek to dominate. Ate wenue ugaga musiosio. Hatiri undu agirwo ni mundu ungi aigwe. Ate we niaregire kuragira ciana ciake no ndagienda ciana ciake ciiragire. Na ntugukinya hau twari in terms because now most of you murahigiririo gwika magongona ni your fathers intentionally. Ate we no ugerie gwika magongona, we no ugerie gukinyukia makinya marau no gukorwo gukinyukia ati utuike kigotho gana utuike mundu wa kurika magongona, no umani ati vava wanyu eho hatire igongona ugika rikinyanire tondu we niwe wagu no gukorwo agigukinyukithia magongona mau. So how do we deal with that? How are we going to do with these ego-centered men that are our fathers who feel like they have to jump chest and not allow you do maundu maku? Gakora ati thoguo ni aregete uthie ukahiriganio tondu we ni arehura githuri ona kenda hiriganitie, koguo agwirage ona ni takiri ndathi kwa mami wanyu, koguo enaga pride enako. Ugakora ati nima we ndungimwagarara gwika kaundu kau. Ngakiuria atiriri tugweterera nginya riria magathie ukirine nigetha twike maundu asa tutigweterera. So that is why we have to have these conversations. Tondu conversations nicio cigutuhe anja, nicio cigutuhe ihonia iria ciraturia mucii, tondu micii mingi turario ni thina, na thina naguo umaga kwi mugambo gana kindu gigwitwo uge ari undu ugitwo mucii. You get it? So now, class in session. All that was introduction. Let me first of all see the people who have joined, so that now we can go deep. The shout out to Kamawa Mogai. Shout out to everyone in the comments. You can share the live because I'm gonna go deep and may not even upload this video on YouTube. Reason being, I'm going to mention names, and dikwada ate todo ma mention romen matidage makiriga kanua makiugaga ate Jega wa muthaka araugiri areka. So anyway, I'm protected, but at the same time ni wega kumenya ati ti wega andu thima wikagiria huho gana makirakaragio niwe. So you can share this live as much as you can, because I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go very deep on these details, but I'm not going to post this video on YouTube because this message will only be for the people that they are supposed to be getting the message. So share to as many people as you can to join this live. Todo live when go the deep. I intend to go very deep, but I don't intend on posting it on YouTube. So malato kwaria maguthirira haha nigugweta maritwa madu, nigugweta andu ta Jenga Mabati, nigugweta andu ta Gamini, Jogu Gamini wa Ramatia Thigira. Nigugweta andu acio a Ramatia Thigira ni aratakwa, but they ha gutheria na no nginya tutherie maundu maya nigetha tuthie na ma. Okay? Sawa. That's why I'm asking you to share the live so that we can have as many people in who are only supposed to be getting the message, because we ugushira mundu urona mundu ni aguno gukorwo na ndumiriri no ngani aguno kumenya kaundu gaka. And I'm not even begging or asking you to share. You can share if you want. If you don't want, it's okay. Fuck it. We just jump into the live and start talking about it. Now, mudrume wothe we feminized, aka uyu ni mwana gana ni kana ka kahi karia kareretwo na kunanio ni tata o mwitaga tata ti tata ucio niwe nana ria twaragi horo wa niki unanitie mwana ti soso dananagia mwana asa mwana ananagio ni nana nake nana ni sister yaku we. If you are a woman and you have a sister, ucio niwe nana wa mwana waku, ucio mwitaga tata ti tata, ucio ni nana. Okay, now mwana nake agikinanio akanunurika ati ni kuri arume makoragwo manunurikitio, they are spoiled when they are growing up, aka mudurume wa kurira maudu. Mudurume wa kurira maudu ukaigua ati mudurume ucio ni arokirire muthenya umwe arauma gwake arakuwa nguo ciake areherera. These are what you call flighty men who don't take responsibility, men who run. Most of these men maokorome arumira mareretwo ni single mothers, so they are feminized. Yes, they are wearing trousers. Yes, they have a dick they can go and piss. But these are feminized men. Men who go with the flow. Ugo ni kuga ati mudurume uyu hatiri undu wake augaga akerugamia. Ni wa kuhuthirwo. Ni wa athiaga na huho, athiaga na muingi. Ndangirugama uge asa tutigwika uguo gana asa, ni ndigwika uguo gana asa, ni ngwirugamia ati we no akwirwo tuthiu agathie. So one, tukiajiriria, for those who are not here, we'll be talking about what you call the man, the masculine, tumenye first, who is a wounded man, who is a feminized man, and then who is a divine masculine, or what you call in your local language, mudrume gana muthuri gamini. Nigetha twacoka twarora the examples of the men mwitaga gamini in the Kikuyu aramutuite ati neo gamini, shout out to jogu gamini. Turore the characteristics gana ni arafit gukorwo akiheo ritwa riu. Wa mbere ndauga mudurume wothe wounded ni mudurume wothe wina kironda utahonetie. Ndahana example of an animal that is wounded. Dauga, an animal that is wounded is aggressive. So if you have an aggressive father, if you have a controlling father, if you have a father who has extreme pride, if the men in your home are detached, if they are not communicative, ati vava wanyu hatiri ndugaga ndaragia, akoragwo akirite athibite, maundu mothe no gukirira ndaragia, ndaumukanagia uria arerwo ni mundu wa kurakara mugati vava no wa kuhiukirwo no wa hasira. Izo zote ni nonsense. Izo zote ni men who are wounded. All those ego-centered ati niwe ugaga muci ucio, all those are wounded men, and unless they heal, ingine yote ni garbage tuko nayo. Twari uhoro wa feminized men, tuga ati uyu ni mudurume uria reretwo aria tuonaga haha makiina haha cadets, metaga cadets, ati anga nie ngwihumbira gutura ndehumbirite rungu rwa Ngai, anga roho mutheru. Those are feminized men. Men don't beg. Mudurume ti jararohe. Men don't show weakness, whether it's weakness hiding under something you are calling a spirit. Iyo ni nonsense. Tondu mudurume cio uria reka ni guthie with the flow, ati we ni wa kanitha, we ni cadet, koguo ndangihota kwirugamia. They don't commit to anything. Ni non-committal. Ti undu angirugamirira arumirire undu ucio nginya muico. We ndangihota kwirugamia, ndangihota gucommit. Uria mundu ugaga ati nie na nyumba yakwa gwikona. You get what I'm saying? Ni kuri men who are avoidant. Mugutura kwanyu mutari mwahingi undu tondu hindi ciothe wakora thoguo, hindi ciothe wa mukora, hindi ciothe wathi kumuria vava Riu ri ndĩreciragia atĩrĩrĩ tondũ nĩndoire Wanjiru ri tuthi kwa Wanjiru, they are always avoiding that topic. Kaundu kau nĩtũgũkaria mũthenya ũngĩ mũthenya ũyũ ti mũthenya. So they are avoidant men, they are detached men. These are men who are feminist. So ndenda ũrore kwanyu ũrore, is my father a wounded man or is my father a feminized man? Tondu ndũngiuga ũmũthĩ atĩ nĩwonaga ciana cireretwo ũguo atĩ ũcio ũguo areretwo nĩ single mother mĩtugo ĩyo. Characteristic ĩyo ndĩnoka thaa ici nĩ kaũndũ karĩ ho. So even your father or your grandfather could be in that, aka thoguo ndangĩhota kubond na mũndũ. There is no pair bonding. Hatirĩ handũ your own father ndarĩ arata, ndangĩhota gũcreate any bonding. Atĩ niĩ ndagũikara ndĩ wiki ndiri arata, no nata ndiri arata. No man is an island. No man in an island. Ati vava wanyu ucio endaga princess treatment, endaga gũtreatwo ta kairĩtu. These men who like, and not just your father, because you also have them in your homes. These are the men you are having relationships with, especially you women. And andu aria mukoretwo muna relationship now, these are the men that you have relationships with, that your man wants princess treatment. Muthuri waku uramutreat, arenda gutreatwo soft nginya gukira uria we wi mutumia ugikorwo ugitreat. Okay? A feminized man is a man who has a huge body count. Men sleep with women. That one we cannot deny. Na muache kujifanya hii ujinga mko nayo kujifanya ati si nature. It's nature for a man to have multiple sexual partners. It is natural for a man to have more than one woman. Whether he decides he can maintain that or he can or he can't is another story. But the fact remains that men were given eyes to look at other women. Agikoro mudurume wa kugana, if your man doesn't look at other women, then your man is fucking other men. Period. Na nikionaga, as a man, ni tugiko tuikarite nawe as a man, if a woman passes and she has got calves, I will look. Because I'm supposed to be attracted to curves, because I'm masculine, and masculine is attracted to curves. The same way when you see an avocado on a tree, uroraga makorovea na nduria kuga taina makorovea maure me mathaka gakuria ni uria makorovea nduriaga niki ria turukutura tondu rina curve. It has got nothing to do with sexuality. It's curves. Women are walking vibrations. Ha tukwaria maundu uria mari. There's no pretending. We go with the truth. Then the truth is going to set you free. So, when you look at the man in your life, let's move away from your father. Is your man aggressive towards you as a woman? Is your man controlling towards you as a woman? Ati mudume wako akura ndungikira muvuto nyumba ino yakwa. Nyumba yakwa ndikiragwo mivuto. That's a wounded masculine. Wounded masculine. Mwiteo utaramenyekana kuria umite ati mudurume waku ni mwitei na eteana ndari kindu igua makiuga mo eteana ndari kindu mwiteo. So extreme pride, that's a wounded man. Men who don't communicate in the house, ni bwanako ndaragia wamwira undu mwana ni gatero skuru ni ani no horo ukarigwa ruga ni no horo niki ukamuria rucio ni agathie cukuru akia guthi cukuru niki ukamwona ndukenda kwira ndona wakira ukwenda ajugi ate thiva tati cukuru besa. So men who cannot communicate, these are wounded men. Ni ahiukeirwo already araka ni aringithia murango riu. And we've been there, done that. We are talking from healing point. These are some of the things that we were in and we didn't know. But now as we heal, we are like, wait a minute. That was coming from somewhere. And I also learned that from someone as a pattern. So it's not me. Tomukiwa mwana okaga theno innocent. So all these things we are learning from external factors. Ego-centered men. Now, who is a divine masculine? A divine masculine? Who aturari horo wa ritwa Gamini. Nyabe juge wega muno ritwa Gamini, ritwa ga negeke. Ukaigua ga negeke, geke or feminine. ati kindu giki ni gia gike. This thing is feminine. You get it? So rĩrĩa tũraria ũhoro wa mũndũrũme ngamini, tũraria ũhoro wa divine feminine or I mean divine masculine. Ati ga nĩ gĩke, the feminine. Koguo tũraria ũhoro wa divine masculine. Ati mũndũrũme ũyũ nĩ ahotete kana ena wĩigĩrĩrĩki wa kũhandle feminine, his feminine side. He has healed gamini. Are you following? So now, the qualities gana maundu maria wagĩrĩirwo nĩ kũrora when you are looking at a divine masculine or what you are calling gamini 1, leadership. Ndũngiuga we gamini na ndũrĩ na ũtongoria thĩinĩ waku. Mbeca ticio cigũtuaga ngamini. Ati tondu we, you are industrialist, you are philanthropist, you have money, you think you are ngamini. We ndũrĩ ngamini. All you have is money, and all you are controlling is industries or complex and nothing more. And in actual sense, what you have are slaves. Andũ a wĩra. Now, ngamini, divine masculine, nĩ mũndũ wothe ũkoragwo grounded ni ati ni mundu wikinyeire kana ni mundu stable kwirugamia. Now stability haha niho andu meciragia ati tondu we wina mbeca nikio turagwita ngamini tondu wina kiganda kana ni urimaga ngano. Koguo stability yo tukame associate na mbeca, but money is not stability, because you can wake up one day and everything you had is taken away. Koguo that doesn't make you ngamini. We nduri ngamini. You are not divine masculine, because for a divine masculine or for you to be a gamini, turari horo wa ukoro we stable, gana we grounded. Now that stability is not physical, it's not external, it's not money. It's you are stable, you are unwavering. Once you make a decision, as long as it's a good decision, you stick to your decision. No ndugiuga ati wewe gamini divine masculine nowe wa kuhuthirwo ni andu angi ati tondu wina tuindo. You get what I'm saying? Gamini wira waku ni take responsibility. Ati it's your responsibility riria wathugwo wetwo gamini ukoragwo wina wĩigĩrĩrĩki wa kwaragia mbere ya rũrĩrĩ ukaiguĩka. You need to have solutions for the people you have been put upon. Ndũngiuga wĩ ngamini na nĩ ũrĩ guoya wa kũgwa, kana nĩ ũrĩ guoya wa gũtirwo, kana nĩ ũrĩ guoya wa kũrũngwo. Wĩ ngamini no nginya ũkorwo wĩ mũigua. And shout out to Jogu Gamini nĩ athikagĩrĩria. But remember, I said this is for teaching purposes only. I'm not sparing anyone, because at the end of the life I want you to look at the qualities of a wounded man. Look at the qualities of a feminized man. Then look at the qualities of a divine masculine man, Gamini. Then now you be the judge when you are filtering. You use that as the filtering when you are looking at the men that we have. Ũgĩtwo Gamini, no nginya ũkorwo wĩ mũndũ wendaga kũnyita ũndũ, understanding, kũnyita. Ũkerwo ũndũ no kanyita ũndũ ũcio, ti kuga tondũ wa ũnyita nĩ wa wamũkĩra, but you understand where this thing is coming from. Ndũngĩtwo ngamini ũtarĩ na wĩigĩrĩrĩki, nĩyo mwĩtaga integrity. You cannot be corrupt na nĩ ũrenda gwĩtwo ngamini or divine masculine. Ndauga ga imanicĩte gĩke or the feminine. You get what I'm saying? Ndũngĩtwo ngamini na ndũkoragwo na kĩndũ gĩtagwo clear communication. Ũguo nĩ kuga atĩ we ndũngĩhota kwaranĩria na andũ makũigue, then you don't deserve that title. If you cannot open your throat chakra for what you call clear communication, you don't deserve that title. Ndũngĩtwo ngamini angĩkorwo ndũtĩĩte both arume or what you call urume, ndĩraria ũhoro wa ũcamba, ndĩraria ũhoro wa arume, masculine, na aka. No nginya ũkorwo we mwenyewe atĩ nĩ ũtĩĩte aka na ũgatĩĩa arume. Gũtĩĩa aka nĩ gũtĩĩa nga, nĩ gũtĩĩa the feminine, nĩ gũtĩĩa the mombi, or the what is the best word for them? Amũmbi. Ũguo nĩ kuga atĩ rĩrĩa amũmbi marahotererio, we nĩ ũrũgamaga ũkaria nao. Ndũngiuga wĩ ngamini na waragia cia arũme tu. It doesn't work like that. Tondũ wĩ ngamini, ndauga nĩ gĩke, divine masculine, no nginya ũkorwo mũndũ wa kĩhoto, atĩ we ũthiaga na kĩhoto, na we ũthiaga na wĩigĩrĩrĩki. Now, let me first of all see, before now I go deep, who's watching this. I have to keep checking on nimeona kuna watu wana shout out DM hapa. Shout out to ODM. Msifukuze huyu jamaa anajiita ODM, wacha akae hapo. You know I attract all damaged spirits. Sasa unaona nime attract ka demon kamekuja kuleta politics hapa. Okay. Yeah. Now, back to the live. Now, tusoke na musie. Even better, tusoke na musie. Nĩgetha tutige kũheo cia kĩrĩa to tũrarũnga maũndũ ma musie rĩ. Tusoke na musie tutige kũheo maũndũ maya ma kĩndũ gĩgwĩtwo politics na the diversions are coming through. Nĩguo. So I'm going to ignore the comments. Nĩndingĩarora comments ingĩa maintain na maũndũ marĩa ngwaragia nao. Mĩciĩ mĩingĩ ũmũthĩ ũyũ tũraria out of example. I'm speaking out of my own example. I have a body temperature disorder. I have a fever. Ndaigua ndino hiyo body temperature disorder, so I have to understand what kind of infection that is. So mĩciĩ mĩingĩ ĩrĩa tumĩte nĩ ũgũkora atĩ thoguo ndararangira your own father, na bado ndarenda we urangire. So your own father ndararangira na ndarenda we urangire. Koguo gakora atĩrĩrĩ, twĩna ũritũ mũno atĩ we ndũngĩka magongona makinyanĩre. We nĩ wenda ũgothonga na gũkorwo ũgĩka magongona gwaku makinyanĩre, no ndũngĩka magongona makinyanĩre kana ndũngĩhota gũtheria gwaku gũthere tondũ ndũngĩhota kwagarara thoguo. Nake awa thoguo nĩ ararega gwĩka maũndũ marĩa agĩrĩirwo nĩ gũkorwo agĩka akũhingũrĩre we. Ngakĩũria atĩrĩrĩ, nĩ atĩa tũngĩka? Tondũ ithuĩ twendaga solution ti kwaria, tũtigũtũra tũhingũraga live ũtukũ kuma 2018. Rĩu twĩ time for solution. Na nĩkĩona nginya ndĩrathiĩ nyihanyihĩtie live ciakwa ngana nginya kũingĩra live ũtukũ. I'm tired of TikTok live za usiku tukaragia nginya thaa 5, thaa 6, thaa 7 na hatirĩ ũndũ tũracenjia. I'm tired of that. It's time to do something. Either we do something or we shut the fuck up. Okay? Tugakiuga atĩrĩrĩ, atĩ nĩtũĩ wega mũno mĩgambo ndĩrĩ itherũ. Mĩgambo ndĩrĩ itherũ. Atĩ nĩ kũrĩ mĩgambo maithe manyu marekirie, your own fathers, na maũndũ mau makahana te mariganĩire. Kwa mũhiano, my own father ngĩkũra nĩ ndirikana maita maingĩ mũno anjĩraga atĩ ingĩgakua ndũkanathike na ndũkanahutie kĩndũ gĩakwa. Ndũkanahutie kĩndũ gĩakwa. Now that's my father telling me many years ago. He's still alive. Ndũkana atĩ ona ũngĩikarĩra gĩtĩ gĩakwa, ũngĩkahũka na itina, ũngĩkageria gũikarĩra gĩtĩ gĩakwa rĩ, ũngĩkahũka itina. That's my father telling me. Rĩu ndĩramwĩra ũhoro wa my dad. So maũndũ maya ana mauga na mangĩ maingĩ no tũkona nĩ itherũ. na tukona ni maundu mega no ni agucoka rimwe akwaririe na agutheki ukaturia kanyama haha ukanyua cuba hake no ririkane atiriri ati mugambo uria augire mugambo nduri itheru kaundu kau ni gathiaga kahana ta kariganeire no kaundu kau ti kuriganira kariganeire tondu kaundu kau ni gacokaga gagathii gagakura baadaye na gakaneneha gagatuika undu munene no anyita nyambe ngurie kindu kimwe we ngurie kindu kimwe ni maundu maigana uwi we maria uwi magikorwo magiguthumbura mwiri wa mbere ni kuri murimu wa keri ni kuri ndwari wa gatatu ni kuri thina wa kana ni kuri ruo rwa mwiri wa gatano ni kuri guturwo ni mwiri okay maya mothe maumaga haria heuge ati waga gukorwo we unyitaga mbeca cikombuka ta maratathi unyitaga kindu gigathie na rugo tondu thoguo ciugo iria ana guikiria kana mamu wanyu ciugo iria ana guikiria agawikiria uria wonaga taru ciana cikirwo ati ndathie thoko mwakiririe githeri kiu ngore kihorete mwaki ndemurie. Of course children will go and play makariganwo ni gwakiriria githeri nyina wa ciana icio agiukaga akora ni githeri kiria agutigite gitiri kirahia tondu ciana cithire cia thaka Bablican number 28 ciariganirwo ni gwakiriria githeri no nyina akariganirwo ni akurutite ciugo ni akwaritie mugambo ni akwirite ciana atiriri ngore githeri kiu kihorete ndimuri ati umuthi uyu ni ukora mwana ni arario ni uge uria ni mugambo uria waugitwo mugambo uria waugitwo tondu ndwatheririo koguo haria turi gwa kahinda gaka ni turavatara we utige gutura wetereire thogu eke tondageka tondu ingi marathi ukiri-ini matarungite maundu maya we ugutura wetereire baba wanyu agathi gukuherigania na baba wanyu ni aregete guthii tondu ena kiunuhu ndarenda we ugie andu ndarenda we wirugamie koguo haria turi gwa kahinda gaka I keep saying this and I keep telling you this, we are in a new world as above so below. Ni kahinda ga kweruhia maundu ati thaici we wagirwo ni kuga atiriri ukore baba wanyu ucarie andu mukore thoguo mumukore umwire atiriri awa baba jitikiria horere nie jitikiria horere wakwa na ujitikirie nyajie utungata wakwa uguo ni kuga atia ati wewe awa witu waku na ni witikire nduike awa wakwa tondu andu aya anyu matirenda mwike maundu maingi muno andu anyu ni marahinga andu anyu matuikite ihingo ni maramuhingiriria maundu maingi muno tondu kwa muhiano acio aciari aku ni athomi ni andu a njano ni andu a dini ni athomi koguo ni magukuhingiriria maundu maingi muno tondu ni mathomire ni agikunjo ni mathire education koguo rakwira those things are old school. No, don't talk about dowry. Those things have been, those things have, what I'm saying, I've educated you, taken you to Europe. Why do you still want to do those outdated things? So, ni athomi, koguo ni marahingiriria maundu maingi muno. Ugakora ati inyue maundu manyu matirathi na mbere tondu andu anyu matirenda uthi na mbere. So it's time you approach these people umere atiriri awa ni ndirenda kuhorera tajitikiria tu ndungate gwakwa ujitikirie ndungate gwakwa tondu rikana ndungitungata gwaku mbere ya father tondu niwe the highest priest, he's the high priest. Aba anyu eho riria gathi ukiri-ini ongo niwe first born hindio niguo ukoya the mantle hindio niguo gathi haria mucovi uria waunwo ri utuike we niwe wina wigiriki. But before that he is still the one. And remember, these are stubborn, wounded, feminized men. Koguo nio ihingo nyingi cia mucii ni ukora kwanyu mutire iguana mwi ciana You do not agree. Mutionanaga eye to eye. Mwita ciana as siblings. Mutigwana na sister yaku niki to riria mwathie gicagi December ri matigagwo magigucuka. Your parents ni andu amwe aria macukaga ciana ciao na ciana iria ingi. Ati we utari ho ni mugaga wi kindu kiuru. Atigana ucio ni kindu kiuru muno. Ruona ona ndangikara guku arayukiria na makari mo manene agurithirie makari haha agetwe kundu athi Nairobi kwena bata na gutangirara ndarara kurara guku niki arara guku ni gicagi ndagiuke na mattress mau those kind of talks ugakora mwiciana mutire iguana no aciari nio mena thina tondu ni ukora gutiri undu we wikaga ukanyita moko tondu na wageria gwitheria ati ona wageria kuragira ati ona wageria guthera ati urathera ugacoka haria ndoro-ini koguo uritura gutheragia o juma ya kinya ukoya thenge gwaku ugathura thenge ugathengia thenge no na warikia guthengia thenge ugacokio ndoro-ini ni andu a mucii ni uhandite ng'ondu ukageria kurangira na ng'ondu ugacoka ndoro-ini tondu thoguo ni aregire gukurekia thoguo ni aregire gukurekereria we uthie utuike mundu wa gutungata gwaku na we mwenyewe ni aregire gutungatha tondu twaga kurora solutions turitindaga tukiaria undu umwe na umane ati aciari aya matireka aciari aya nio ihinga iria twina cio micii ihinga nyingi iria twina cio micii ni aciari ihinga nyingi iria twina cio micii ni andu a mucii ni andu anyu matireka na matirareka we wike. Those are the problems that we have and those are the things that we are supposed to be dealing with. Tigutura tuhiguraga TikTok utuku, tigutura twaragiriria, tigutura tuingiraga Gikuyu Academy, tigutura tuingiraga Voi-ini wa Wachira, tigutura na mat. That is garbage. Iyo niyo itagwo regurgitation. Turatahika tukaria ringi to tutirakinyukia. Tutirathie mbere. No anyita tutirathie mbere tutirakinyukia. Shout out to Sammy for the heart. Na kila kina vatatha isinitie twagunu gukorwo tugikinyukia mbere. Na ukinyukia mbere ni gutuika itungati. Wa mbere riu haria tukinyite ni ugathi ukera baba wanyu ukamwira baba ni ndirenda kuhorera. Jitikiria tu ndungate gwakwa. Ndukamunie ro atungata gwake make ndungeithiria mauni make. Wewe yeherie mwire ni ndirenda gutuika ndungata gwakwa. Jitikiria ndungate gwakwa tondu atagwitikiritie before your father has allowed you to be the priesthood ndungitungata niki tondu you are bound by the terms and conditions kuria waciarirwo whether isi waragia rwario rwa Gikuyu so by default he kiria giatumire uke uhuthire rwario rwa maitu he maria na ndukona maundu matari maritu. These are lessons. The world this world is a school of life. We guku kumenya maundu nigetha maundu mau warikia kumenya magakuhuthira magatiga gutuika maritu magakuhuthira so you expand. The mind is an awareness that doesn't change. Na no nginya tumenye gutheria maundu maya no matherie na ugi ati uko kamwira ni ndirenda gutuika ndungata ndirenda gutungata gwakwa tigwake awa ndirenda gutungata gwakwa totangitikira ngatungate akwira atiri ndetikira ugatungate. That is all you need to hear. Akwambie tu hivyo ndetikira ugatungate. That's all you need to hear. The fact that he has accepted now you know ruthie utherie gwaku riu. Now go now to your place, go now to your home, go now to whatever you want to do. We mwitikirie riu anjie gutheria maundu nigetha maundu maku majie kugwata ugie rugwata waku guthere ati ona watheria nduracoka ndoro-ini tondu uria mureka tha icio na mwatheria muracokio ndoro-ini ni aciari aya kana andu aya a mucii to nio matuikite ihinga. But remember, you choose them so that as much as hard it is for you to progress, that is as much a lesson that to whom much is given, much is required. Ndukanariganirwo guo maundu ma makurituhagira tondu you are given much, so you are required much. nikio rakora kwanyu niwe cycle breaker nirona maundu maya. To whom much is given, much is required. There's a reason why when we maundu maya mako magomeire. There's a reason why ukinyukagia one step forward ugacoka makinya 10 thutha. Yes, ni wana tora kinyukia. Yes, unaka in life like you are doing very well, but we unajua you could do better. People look at you like you are doing better, but where you know you are operating on a bare minimum, you're operating on debt, you're operating on survival, you're operating on grace, you're operating on grace. It's by grace that you are able to wake up every day, go through your things, na ugacoka ukainuka. Nikio tuga to whom much is given, much is required. So hena vataru thaa ici haria tukinyite. Solutions, approach those parents. Mukore umwire riu ri njitikiria gutungata gwakwa. Ati wewe awa na ni ndi awa nigetha I have a fever. I have a body temperature disorder. So allow me to use this bottle to bring down my temperature. My temperature is very high. My brain is very hot. So that's it for today. I have to do some self-care. I have to take care of myself. I have a fever, so I have to find out. I have to put some ice compress at the back of my head and bring down my temperature. Nilisikia asubuhi when I was doing my walk, I felt there was something amiss with myself. Sandi nimesikia vizuri. I need to take care of myself. Cannot afford to be ill. Ni self-care. So ogotouga. So learn to identify gamini nigetha riu ukarora ukauga atiri ni maturerwo ati Gikuyu twina mundu fulani ni etwo gamini. But when you look at the characteristics of mundurume gamini, na ndauga gamini, ga ni gike ni feminine. Nigetha ukarora ukamenya ginya kwanyu ukarora. So now you can look at your home and realize now you can look at the people who you're supposed to respect without questioning. Tondu rakigwa mundu ni etwo gamini wakimenya what are the characteristics of a wounded man. What are the characteristics of a feminized man? What are the characteristics of gamini, or what you call the divine masculine? Nidhayo, let me see if there's a question before I go. I'll shout out for the gifts. Asiari near both sides, like your parents and uncles. Yeah, even your uncles. These are so your relatives. Kana sio ugaga ni andu anyu, ni andu aria mwe related by relativity. So these will be akia ho in all those are your relatives. I need to cool down my brain. My brain is overheating. So then on hehu ina mai mahehu iraija, but it's not cold enough. I need to bring my temperature down very quickly. Etagwo body temperature disorder. Nisio mwitaga homa gana kurwara. It's nothing. It's just a body temperature disorder. Nikio thia thibitari ugathimwo temperature. Ukoyo thermometer ukirwo ina 37 yaga wano ukoyo na 36. It's just a body temperature disorder. Is mwili will communicate. That is how the body communicates to you and tells you something is amiss. And it's not, the body knows. Mwili waku no ekira kira akugia. It's not your work to find out what it is. All you need to do is bring down the temperature of your body and the body will do the rest. No medication. You just, nikio thia ukaheo dawa ya fever. No mutimenyaga uheagwo dawa ya fever niki. Uheagwo dawa ya fever nigetha restore temperature, because when your body is operating at the right temperature, niyo mwitaga homeostasis, the balance, then you are okay. Do you get it? There's nothing wrong with loving two sisters. There's nothing wrong with that. But now the question will be on morality and who decides on morality. But there's nothing wrong with loving two sisters. If the two sisters love you and they agree, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, mutumia waku atuikaga your sister. For example, Mujiro ni mwari wa maito. Mujiro ni mwari wa maito. Todo Mujiro twathi he my father and mother ni dota yao. I am a son to my in-laws, son-in-law. I am their son. So me and Mujiro is my sister. You are supposed to treat your spouse and my sister. Mujiro ni my sister. Okay? Nyakiabi. Okay? My girlfriend, Moboi, ni my sister also. You get it? You get it? That's also my sister. So I have to treat her like my sister. I have to treat Mujiro like my sister. Okay? That's how it goes like. So atiri thina wa gukorwo wina two sisters. Gana the two sisters. Now, ritwa riri sister. Wabi uririkane, sisters aroga ni sisters ona thakame ti imwe. Ukorwo mo ni blood group A, uge ni blood group AB. Kiria giatumaga tuone ti wega ti hagiriru ni tondu no musiare ugu. What do I mean? Since now you are bleeding or mating with two siblings, whatever deformity or weakness that is in their blood, you are adding onto it, and you are adding onto it into your own homestead. Nikio tugaga ndungihikia sister ige only because ni ukurehe ugu gana the weakness. But if they are powerful sisters like the Serena Williams amathakaga table tennis, as you know mahikiere tondu ni strength. You get what I'm going? So things are deep. Maundu ni mako mathiete deeper ungihota kumenya. Now ni kuri magongona gana ni kuri andu merago mahuthagirwo tutige icio ti cia tondu icio cigututwara kiria icio cigututwara stories cio kirini na tutiraria cia death haha. We are not talking about death. Nyabe wa mbere sister icio kiria gingituma ure muno gwikara na cio ri gana kumende riri ni tondu wa mbere a woman that you sleep with, for you to build with a woman, tau ni tuiguaga mukiaria maundu maingi mukuga atiriri ati mutumia wothe wakomania nake ri ni kigongona niguo mwiragwo. Njiguaga mukirwo guku nyenda-ini ati every woman you sleep with ni mwagia kigongona nake. Asa hatiri kigongona. Wa mbere njuge o, when you have sex with a woman, all you're having is sex. There's no energy exchange hapo. Sex is a joining of two energies to create another. So the only energy you are going to exchange is the pleasure that is going to come out of that union. Now, it has a time. Odo the new rekemera. Odo the cycle ya 3 months. Nigetha utuike we he maundu ukuruta he mutumia ucio gana he mundurume ucio umakuwe, no ginya mukorwo mukomete na mundurume ucio for more than 3 months utagutukania mundurume ucio na mundurume ungi. For a woman, if I was to sleep with you and I am to leave an energetic imprint on you, on all my traumas and everything, I must have been sleeping with you for 3 months continuous without you sleeping with another man. That's now the purity where it comes in. Now, that is for you, local men. There are other levels. For me now, for me to transfer my trauma, if I have trauma, or things that I have with me, I must have been sleeping with a woman for more than 6 months without her sleeping with another man. The moment she sleeps with another man, agatharia kaundu kau. Gana agatharurania. You get what I'm going with this? So, The same for a divine feminine. And ikionaga the high priestesses and all these empresses who practice like the tarot and everything, they go celibate because they know that they have to be sleeping with a certain man for like 6 months continuous for that man now to be a part of them. You get it? Na kiuria kiyoka niki by the way, oturari horore wa sister. Tusoke ale ha sister. So, mwira wati wakomania na mundu ati mundu wothe wakomania nake ri ukomaga na andu othe makomete nake. Hiyo ni bullshit, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hiyo ni hearsay, hiyo ni mushene. Hiyo ni mushene ya fake spirituality. Tondu ni hari cycle. The same kire tumaga wathi ndagitari agakuhe dawa agakwira dawa icio cinywe meri 3 nigetha uhone thiu. Ati kindu giothe githia kimera season. For example, right now we're in the middle of spring, tuhinde ya ndegwa. So from Aries to Gemini, kiu ni kigongona kigima. So if you have been sleeping with a woman from, let's say, Aries, bura ya kihu, nginya tugithi gukinya high noon. Okay, you can do it on the micro, but this is not for you now. Shout out to all my alchemists who know about sexual transmutation. Utikwaje kumwira maundu magi tondu maritumaga muthi mukamerie Viagra mukigeria maundu magi. To ni kuri bado time. There's also a way you can, from the macro to the micro, that you can do that cycle 3 months, but you do it in hours. Or you do that cycle of 6 months, but you do it in hours. But you have to know the correspondence. Maundu maigi wa unokorwo gibatara kumenya. Koguo atiri thina kwenda sisters igire, no niguthia ukaga kwagirira twathie deeper spiritually ni undu wa maundu ta mau tauga ma ugu na the fact that kigongona kiu no kiage kurugama tondu no mage ku agree nawe na message gushare. So when it comes to sexual transmutation na vitu kama hizo upate maundu maku ni maraga kwagirira na vitu kama hizo. So let me go. I need to add more ice into this bottle and bring down my temperature. I have a high fever, body temperature disorder. I have to cool my brain. My brain is hot, racing hot now. But if you have one more question, I can take one more question before I go. Does that mean soul ties are not real? That's a good question. Now, a soul tie does not just happen through sex. What happens through sex is not a soul tie. Wanaigwido sietagwo twin flame. Wanaigwido sietagwo soul flame. Soul tie, I'll give you a good example of a soul tie. Tobe tutue matamasio. And when I'm talking about a soul tie, I wouldn't want this thing to happen to anyone who's watching me. So I'm only going to use it for teaching purposes only. Teaching purposes only. Sometimes back, nimuonire kana mwana igwado monete accident me hamwe. Okay? Ado monete accident me hamwe. Gari ne, ate gari yo iroragiria do the 13. Ado 13 marakwire gari ati mundu ratigarire. Iyo niyo itagwo soul tie. Iyo niyo soul tie. Ati gari yo ena mundu umite Mombasa, ena mundu umite Kiambu, ena mundu umite Nyeri, maraturaneiru ho the gari neyo. Now spiritually this is what had happened. Kuna ndo maraturamite ha. And if you're a mechanic and you can repair hiyo kioo ya chake kunipigia kelele uniambie kwa sababu wa mechanic wa Kikuyu wameshindwa kutengeneza. So nitakuletea utengeneze hiyo kioo, acha kupiga. Kama wewe ni mechanic na unatengenezanga kioo ama unaweza tengeneza hiyo kioo, acha hiyo kelele hiyo. Uniambie nikuletee na nisikuletee upake mafuta, wananipakianga oil. Ati nigeza kinyoroke, that's not the solution. So this is how a soul tie happens. Sometimes back, bareno ya Rwaka, heado maguthirwo ni ngari, andu eri, these two people were in a soul tie. That is why marigirwo ni ngari imwe na magikua me hamwe. That's a soul tie, number 1. Now, andu a Rwaka ni marakarire muno to the point ginya Rwaka ni kurekerirwo bumps. Nekilirwa bumps. By the time uko na bump. So watu warowaka wakakasirika sana, wakakuja wakachoma hiyo Lexus. Bagisina Lexus hiyo. And if you look at those videos, you are going to see people who are very emotionally attached to that. Walikuwa wana scream, toka tuchome gari, toka. So anyone who was emotionally invested in burning that car, mtu yote alichukua mawe, mtu yote alirekodi hiyo video, you are emotionally, where attention goes, energy flows. Mtu yote who was nikio iguaga, mind your own business. Anyone who was emotionally invested in burning that car, hiyo Lexus na hiyo maneno yote, kuweka bump, watu wanduthi, all of you shared something that was emotionally binding, emotionally tying. Each of you is a soul. Each of you is a soul. So you tied your soul. You tied to us your souls to something that was emotionally binding, that involved people dying. Kuna watu walikuwa wamegongwa na hiyo gari. To the point, mulichoma gari. There was fire. There was tears. Hizo zote. So anyone mwenye alikuwa kwa hiyo accident ya Rwaka, already uko kwa soul tie. It has got nothing to do with sex. So this is what is going to happen. Okay? This is what is going to happen. In future, that cloud that you formed when all of you are emotionally invested in that, if that cloud is to rain on you, rain as in mvua or R-E-I-G-N, kama wadhani, like wadhani, chances could be mujipate kwa matatu moja nyinyi wote ama basi moja nyinyi wote. Anyone who was involved in that Rwaka nonsense, mutajipata kwa basi moja 63 sister, hata kama ni years down the line na hakuna mtu anajua what is happening. Tuseme hiyo basi inaenda Malindi, kila mtu mwingine ameenda biashara, wengine wameenda holiday, but no one understands how so the people who survived the accident ndio wakuangi kwa hiyo soul tie. But everybody else who perishes, they had a soul tie. They were connected in an event. Na hiyo event si lazima ikuwe ya hii lifetime. It could be an event of another existence, another lifetime, not just this one, where you are heavily invested, emotionally tied to something that became a soul tie yenye nakufikia leo. It has got nothing to do with sex. It has got nothing to do with sex. Now, I'm teaching you what a soul tie is. Sasa ndio uilete kwa sex. Now, let's say me and you, we are emotionally tied and we are sleeping together. And we are emotionally tied and we are sleeping together now. So now, to the point, we agree on so many things. Now, that creates now what you are calling a soul tie now. So, anyone you meet and have sex with them and pay them, akuna emotional tie, akuna soul tie. You get what I'm going with this? You have to be emotionally tied and agree or be agreeing to so many terms and conditions together for it to become a soul tie. Kila kitu iko na levels. So all these people who just come and teach for the sake of teaching at everyone you have slept with, you have a soul tie with them. No, it doesn't happen like that. You must have been emotionally attached. You must have been agreeing to so many things that were moving you in big ways for it to become a soul tie. You see the difference? Now, a soul contract is different now. I'll give you an example. I have flowers at home. Let me show you an example. One, hapa, perfect. I hope you can see. Unaona hii bamboo? Unaona hii bamboo inamea hapa. Inakaa dry. Inakaa hiyo bamboo ilikuwa ina dry. But iko na green leaves. You see that bamboo? Hiyo iko kwa hiyo maua. Hauhena ngodu. Unaona bamboo plant hiyo? Hiyo. Sasa that's a soul contract. Let me explain. All these flowers unaona kwa mlango yangu. All these flowers unaona huku. So let me explain a soul contract. Wewe umeenda soko, umepata maua inauzwa. Umenunua hiyo maua ama hiyo mti ama hiyo plant, umeileta nyumbani. One, you now have a soul contract with that plant that you will be watering that plant. Ukumbuke wewe ndio umeiendea. Ungeiacha huko. ungeiacha kwa kichaka, ungeiacha kwa msitu, but wewe umeenda umeing'oa, umeileta nyumbani, umeipanda kwa nyungu. It's your house plant. Now you have a soul contract to be watering that plant. Na ndio nanga wazungu ni wajanja sana ama Wahindi. Saa zile ana travel, anaachianga mtu ufunguo na mwambia nimekuachia ufunguo, umwagiliange maua yangu maji. Umwagiliange maua yangu maji. Why? They know, wait until I finish about the nini, ama ushajua. Kwa hivyo niachane na pets, kwa hivyo niachane na pets sasa. Niachane na hiyo, si ndio? So I leave so contract, sasa niongee maneno ya pets. Kwa hivyo unajua na huko unatuambia. Kwa hivyo ni ukumenyaga so contract no ndugucokagia comment ini. Diga utidagi alia ni ukumenyaga. Kwa hivyo twarie cia pet tutige na cia so contract. No ndukwaragia nduku request ite tucokerie. Ndukwarĩtie haha comment. Kagi. Koguo ndige na cia so contract twarie cia pets. Koguo ni ukumenyaga cia so contract. My brain is overheating. I need to end this live. I need to go and cool my brain. I need ice cubes and a hot towel and put it at the back of my head. My brain is very hot. I have a high fever. So a soul contract is now where that plant and you, now you have a contract where ndio utakuwa unaimwagia maji. So should that plant dry up, it's on you. Nimekupea example na hii bamboo. Hii bamboo is the most stubborn bamboo that I have. Naipeanga maji, but nikaisahau tu for like 2 weeks without water, it dries up. Saizi imeamushwa na mvua hii. And it's because I spoke it. I said, I know I've neglected you, but if you have any life left in you, please thrive again. Thrive, imefufuka. Now that's a soul contract. That's the difference between, that's how you understand a soul contract. So ukitoka kwa plants, take it all the way to the point, to the promises you give to children. Nitakuletea sweet nikirudi jioni. Now that's a soul contract with that child. Kama unajua utamletea sweet, mwambie hapana, sitakuletea sweet, but naenda. Be very honest. Hiyo ni oturuga migabo iria coka gututhumbura baadaye, tondu mwana ucio ni akwandikira as a contract. That spirit, that's a contract. You're supposed to bring a lollipop. You may go and forget and think it's okay, but that's a contract. Wanyita. Hemudu ukuragi horo wa pets. Pets, mahiũ maku pets, nitoragi horo wa animal husbandry. Ask yourself these questions. Why do we talk of animal husbandry? No igwa ni etana. Dagweta nyamũ etana. Mbũri. Confirmation. Why do we talk of animal husbandry? Ni tondu nyamũ ici wĩnacio mũciĩ ni muohithanĩtio nacio we. Assaultai. Ĩno ti mbũri. Ĩno ti ngũkũ. Ĩno ti thenge. Ĩno in another lifetime he kĩndũ mwa witnessire nakĩo, to the point now it becomes onagana wathi wa mĩthogora thoko we ndũramenya kĩrĩa gĩtũmaga thagũra wa mĩthogora wainuka. You are tied to that thing. Na nĩkĩo onaga rĩrĩa wathi gwĩka magongona ũrahũthĩra kĩndũ gĩ thĩinĩ wa nyamũ ĩyo gwĩka igongona, na nĩgetha nyamũ ĩno ĩkĩre wĩira atĩ kĩu wahũthĩra nyamũ-inĩ ĩyo ngoro nĩ ngoro kũrĩanĩra nĩ gĩakinyanĩria kaũndũ, tondũ ĩyo nĩ soul tie mwe connected nayo. Do you get it? So that's how it happens. Someone like Samido na Karen Nyamo, they have a soul tie which they should break. Si kuachana hivyo wanaachana. Samido akaina toxic love, na Karen Nyamo wagathi akaina nonsense yake na kugana akajia kuga Samido ni aremirwo ni wera. They had a soul tie. Na andu ni magwo ni kumenya gutheria maundu ma. They are supposed to, because what will happen in another lifetime, makamiti Samido na Karen Nyamo, na they may have to go through a catastrophic thing to end that soul tie that may involve a blood. No igwa mutino wagwa. Duga no igwa anyway. Na no ndo makiuga ni magithomire muno mena mbia, angi magagita macini ta, angi makeita ini ni mavorithi, makaga kurangira maundu ma. No maundu ma ni macoka magoka magathumbura andu baadaye. Rituals ziko, kuna rituals za kudetach from soul ties, kuna rituals za kudetach from soul contracts, kuna rituals zenye unaweza fanya, and most of them are actually even in the Bible that you can do for yourself to detach from these things. Mimi most of the time watu wengi wenye wanakujanga kwangu wanajua mimi I don't like doing rituals for people. Mimi nitakupea kila kitu. I'll tell you exactly. Mimi negukura, mimi no ngororeire. Ni rakwa nigukurorera. Murora. Nini njuke ngutungatire we wike ni ngukwira ikona na nyambe nguhe the correspondence na to understand. Na before you do the ritual, I've told you the reason why you are choosing this to the point, to the end. So now, before you even do it, you have no doubt in your mind that this is how it's supposed to be done and it's going to work. Then you are going to do it we mwenyewe. Me, I'm not going to do any ritual for you, asa. Mi niko na zangu za kufanya. I'll be there. I'll guide you. Nigukurorera. Deta gitugati. Deta murora. Nigukurorera the time. Nigukwira, this is the best time. Astrologically, this is the best time to do it. Direction, this is the best direction to face when you are doing this ritual. And this is how you are supposed to do it. And these are the words that you can use, but I want you to craft your own words that have the same meaning with these words that you use. That is how I do it. Then you do it. So ni ndugeciria ati ukago hinyire mburi kana uciria ati ukago ikire igongona no ni ukagurangire wike. Utakuja nikupeleke mahali nikwambie weka pipe pale kwa mfereji, weka hiyo pipe. Dread or there. These are the words that you can use. Take off your clothes, everything. Take the pipe, now wash, chant like this. But before you get there, nitakuwa nimeku-educate on how it's supposed to be done. Then you can do it. Si ukuje uache uchafu yako yote kwangu, mkuje muache kasia zenyu zote muniachie, hapana. Mimi hiyo maneno hapana. Okay? How about a relationship that seems not to move forward? Leave that relationship. Though that's a consultation. Hiyo sasa hiyo ni consultation. Hiyo ni kitu nafaa. My number is there. Book a consultation. Kitu kama hiyo, you have to book a consultation. You have to look at so many things. You have to look at their chart. We have to look at your chart. We have to look at your trauma, venye uli grow. We have to look at their trauma, how they grew. Then you can decide, why are you trauma bonded? Can you still work around that? Do you need both of you to be there to agree to work on that? Kuna wengine wamekuja tukaongea na bado wakaachana. Si ati hamtaachana. Wengine wamekuja, tumeenda 254 Kikuyu, wamebook, wamekuja, tumeongea, they tried, it didn't went up, okay, and it's okay. Si lazima iende vizuri. Unajua, depends on you. And having the same purpose before you come to this reality. Sijui hiyo, sijashika hiyo question yako. I didn't get your question. So let's end the live. I need to go and cool my brain. My brain is very hot. I need to put some ice cubes on my neck. Naekelea hapa juu ya jugular vein because it takes the blood to the head. I'm cooling that blood. Ikifika kwa kichwa iende ikiwa a little bit chilled. But also I could be having a fever because they are cutting trees hapa karibu na mimi, and me being a Taurus, and it being Taurus season, and me being connected to Mother Earth, inaweza kuwa ni hiyo miti wanakata inafanya nipate fever. Unajua? So I'm not also disregarding that, but I need to cool my brain first. Because there's no other explanation as to why I'm having a fever. So shout out to everyone in the comments, each one. Tumesema vizuri sana. Identify the characteristics. Negetho menyage mundu me gamini no. Tikuigwa mundu etwo gamini ugeciria ni gamini. Gamini eminete ga negeke or feminine. So we are talking of a divine feminine. And all these men mareta gamini, they are not divine masculine in any way, shape or form. In fact, most of them are wounded men. These are wounded men. They are aggressive. They get angry. They shout. Wanatukana watu. Those are wounded men. Kwa hiyo wetu gamini ne bullshit. Ne kuigirira. Ne titles ya kuigirira. Ne garbage. Okay? Yeah. So, ciao. Do have a beautiful Wednesday. Mercury. It's a day for communication. And before I go, no, forget about Sinners. Nigoda Aquarihoro Sinners, the movie, but is of no. I watched it yesterday. Is of no. It doesn't. That psyop mko mbali sana. Hiyo psyop si nyinyi mnacheza. Hiyo psyop bado iko mbali na nyinyi. Though it's still your psyop. It's more for the indigenous Indians than you. So it's a spiritual movie. It's attacking spirituality, but it's attacking spirituality native. Native to wale watu wako na blood group O negative. O negative. Si ya kila mtu. So movies pia zinatengenezangwa specifically to attack some specific minds of people. Hiyo ni ya kuattack watu wa O negative blood group. Hiyo Sinners movie ina attack spiritually attacking people with O blood negative. Sawa. How much for a consultation? My number iko hapo. Si namba yangu iko hapo. Depends on the consultation. Consultation inaweza kuwa ni ya business. There are people who consult for business logos, business logos, whether the business is suiting them, how to run. Hizo kuna different consultations. Kuna watu wanakujanga for just chat consultation peke yake. The simplest consultation inakuanga 2700. 2700 is like the basic consultation tukianza na chat. Vitu kama dreams interpretation, hizo si consultations, hizo ziko na donation. Dream interpretation donation yake inakuanga 540 shillings for dream interpretations. Nakuanga watu wengi wanajua. Watu mtu ametuma 2540 unasikia amekuja. Niko na hii dream, people already know. Kama wewe ni mgeni hiyo ni shauri yako. But for consultation we start at 2700. That's like the basic consultation that I do. Ni sawa. What about sharing the same bathroom with your neighbors? Hakuna uchafu unatoa huko, si umeenda kuoga. Si bafu umeenda kuoga. Na si maji ni kuoga. Na ile duadhera. Why do you think mtu akimaliza kuoga ameosha panti yake hapo? Amemaliza kile kibato anasikianga kuchukua hiyo maji amilikuwa amejikamura but anachukua maji yote anajimwagia because your spirit knows that is what baptism is. Wewe ukienda kuoga kumaliza chukua hiyo maji yote na karai jimwagie kutoka kichwa na useme anything that is in this bathroom nisitoke nayo unajimwagia unakuwa umeng'ara. That's a very simple ritual. That's what you call baptism. Baptism. Crystals ziko not glass, original crystals, but I don't have them. I direct you mwenye nakuanga nazo. You can look at Crystal Goddess if you kama unataka international. Unaweza ingia Facebook. Facebook utafute mtu anaitangwa David Musioki, anaitwa Musioki. Okay? Kennedy Musioki, Facebook. Kennedy Musioki is going to hook you up with original crystals, which is even good. Juu atakupea crystals kulingana na zodiac sign yako. Ako Facebook. Ama ukuje DM nikupea namba yake direct. Kuje DM nikuwa nataka namba ya crystals, connect direct, akutengenezea crystals depending on you, akuadvise the best ones depending on you na vitu kama hizo. Okay? There are crystals ukizivaa they block you, so you have to know what crystals work best with your sign. Ni sawa? Yes, I am. I need to do some self-care. I need to bring my fever down. Imagine imekuwa moto hata isaidii. I'm so hot. The water is already hot. Sawa. Ciao. And shout out to my beautiful moderator. And we'll catch up next.